Hello my beautiful friends. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for being here. My name is Emily and today I am bringing you yet again another spooky Sunday. Today we are going to be talking about the elusive and mysterious Winchester Mystery House. Chances are you may have already heard of this mysterious Winchester house because recently there was a movie put out in Hollywood called Winchester, which was basically about this house, and in my opinion, I don't think the movie really did it justice. So let's go ahead and jump into what makes this house so mysterious. The Winchester Mystery House is a mansion that is located in sunny San Jose, California. The mansion was a home to Sarah Winchester, who is the widow of the infamous William Winchester, who made the Winchester rifle. So I'm sure you've heard of the Winchester rifle before. They were the ones who made it. The infamous 24,000 square foot mansion is located at 525 South Winchester Boulevard in San Jose, California. But to really understand the mansion and its infamous mysteries, we have to understand who Sarah was and why this mansion is so famous. Sarah Lockwood Winchester, also known as Sarah Lockwood Pardee, was an American heiress who actually obtained the mansion through her wealthy husband, who was William Wirt Winchester. Sarah was born in New Haven, Connecticut in 1840. On September 30th, 1862, in New Haven, Sarah married William Wirt Winchester, the only son of Oliver Winchester, who was the owner of the very well-known and famous Winchester Repeating Arms Company. The couple married in 1862 and had one daughter named Annie Pardee Winchester, who was born June 15, 1866. Unfortunately, Annie Pardee Winchester would pass away on just July 25, 1866, just 10 days after she was born. The couple had no more children and were grief-stricken by this loss. Although Sarah and William were a very happy couple and were happy with each other, Sarah was struck with a string of events that left her in utter disbelief and left her with an immense amount of grief. Sarah's father-in-law unfortunately passed in 1880, and following that, her loved husband William would die of tuberculosis in March of 1881, leaving Sarah completely grief-stricken. Because of the family's wealth, Sarah was left with an inheritance of $20 million, which nowadays is equivalent to $507 million. In addition to this, Sarah Winchester would also inherit half of the Winchester Company, earning her about $1,000 per day, which is roughly around $26,000 per day in the current economy. Now, you think an individual would be extremely happy coming into all this money and wealth, but unfortunately, this came with a cost for Sarah. She lost the love of her life, she lost her child, she lost her father-in-law, and she basically had no one to be with. So, like many individuals stricken with grief have in the past, Sarah went to the more paranormal side of things to deal with this grief. Sarah sought out to look for a spiritualist who presumably could speak to the dead. While she was looking for closure and some sort of happy ending to her sad story, she was struck with something a little bit more chilling. The medium she went to supposedly was able to contact her husband William, who told the widow that their tragedies that they had endured were the result of the blood money that his family had made. The Winchester rifles had been used in many wars and had taken many lives. William warned Sarah that the vengeful ghosts of these people whose lives had been taken by the Winchester rifle would seek her out and try to hurt her. In order to protect herself, William told Sarah that she must build a home for herself that would confuse the spirits, and they would leave her alone. Being advised by William, who was speaking through the medium, he told Sarah that she needed to pack up and move to the West Coast as far away from Connecticut as she could. So Sarah packed up and moved to San Jose, California. And so the mystery house begins. The mystery house came to be in 1866, and this was no ordinary construction job. Sarah thought that she could trick the spirits by building secret passageways, secret doorways, secret staircases that led to nowhere, a dangerous door that opens out on the second floor into nothing, leading to a very dangerous fall, and many more obscure propositions by the construction workers that she would be able to keep these spirits from finding her. Sarah also had installed a skylight in the floor, many chimneys that led to absolutely nowhere, spiderweb windows, and winding staircases that had way more steps than they needed to. After 38 years of long, hard labor and construction, the mansion had 160 rooms, 47 fireplaces, 40 stairways, 6 kitchens, and 3 elevators. Sarah always had construction workers working day and night at her mansion. At one point in time, the Winchester mansion was said to be 7 stories tall, but this all came crashing down when the Great Earthquake of 1906 happened. Poor Sarah was actually in the mansion when this happened, and although she was safe, she was stuck in the Daisy bedroom. Her door was covered by rubble, and her staff actually had to dig her out of the room. And from that day forward, Sarah would no longer build up, she would build out. Now, Sarah was always renovating this house to try and confuse the spirits. Now, a lot of people who are familiar with Sarah's story know that she was building every single day for 38 years. She was always building more rooms, more things, and more attractions to her house. Now, one fact that is often overlooked when it comes to Miss Winchester's story is that at 12 a.m. on the dot, every single morning, she would go up to her dedicated seance room and talk to the spirits. She would supposedly contact these spirits and ask them, what else do I need to build to keep the bad spirits away? Supposedly she would contact William and some other loved ones, and they would give her advice on what to build and where to build it. And of course, Sarah always obliged and listened to these suggestions. Now, unfortunately, Sarah would pass away on September 5th of 1922. And it has been rumored that there are actually half hammered in nails that were left in the doors and the walls from the construction workers just throwing their hands up and saying, I'm out of here. She's dead. I'm done. I mean, can you really blame them? They had been working for 38 years straight, day and night, 7 days a week, taking shifts. Granted, Sarah did pay them 3 times the amount that most construction workers were being paid at the time, so they got paid a pretty penny, but that must have been some hard-ass labor. Almost immediately after Sarah's passing, the house actually became a piece of natural history for the state of California. In 1923, just 1 year after Sarah's passing, the house actually became open to the public for tours, which many people had been curious about the house because a place like that is so large and changing all the time has got to draw some eyes and some attention on it. Now, you can still go there to this day. They actually hold special tours at the house. They hold flashlight tours on Friday the 13th. And on Halloween, they have special candlelit tours of the Winchester Mystery House. But it doesn't come without a risk to visit the Winchester Mystery House. Supposedly, the house is extremely haunted. It is one of the most haunted locations in the USA, and many people flock to it for that reason. Many people who have been inside of the house and have taken the tours often say that they see children, women, and construction workers working around the house. Apparently in the afterlife, they have to work too. These poor construction workers, just let them be free. The 3rd floor of the Winchester Mystery House is also well known to be extremely haunted, and tour guides won't actually take you through the entire 3rd floor, and people don't really understand or know why. So that's a little creepy if you ask me. Sarah also had a huge obsession with the number 13. Many of the relics and the artifacts in the actual house itself resemble the number 13. Throughout the house, many of the windows have 13 panes. There are 13 bathrooms throughout the entire mansion, and in the 13th bathroom, there's 13 windows. There are 13 steps on many of the stairways, 13 ceiling panels in many of the ceilings. Miss Winchester's will was divided into 13 parts, and she even signed it 13 times. So obviously, the spirits or maybe some other kind of paranormal entity told her that the number 13 has some sort of significance to it. Or maybe the girl just liked the number 13. Who really knows? Although there were many staircases put into the house, one was particularly strange. One of the staircases was built in the shape of the letter Y. This enabled the servants to get quickly from the 3 levels of the house to one another. One set has 7 stairs, while the other 2 feature 11, all with different destinations. So as you can see, the Sarah Winchester Mystery House definitely is a mystery. The name describes it all. Now, honestly, in my opinion, I would go here in a freaking heartbeat. I think that the landscape and the setup of the house itself is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, people find it creepy, and yeah, it might be a little bit creepy because it's a big ass house with a bunch of stairs that lead to nowhere and windows that seemingly go nowhere, but I think it's really cool, and a lot of people did really kind of write off Sarah as crazy, but honestly, I mean, who's to say that she wasn't contacting these ghosts? Maybe there were people who were telling her to do this, maybe it's all true, and maybe she was a little bit crazy, but she seemed like a nice lady. I mean, she paid these construction workers really well, and the poor girl had so many bad things happen to her that even if she was kind of going through some kind of psychotic break or something, you know, she created something beautiful, and her name has been entombed in time, basically, through this house. And it's created something that people can go to, something that interests people, something that's unique, and Cool. So contrary to what a lot of people believe, I don't really think that this house is a bad thing in the long run. I think it's a pretty cool place, but I do really feel bad for her because, good Lord, she was struck with a lot of grief and I can't even imagine what she was going through. So I feel bad for Sarah. And I really hope that she was reunited with William and Annie when she finally passed. But I would honestly love to visit this house and I really hope that I get to someday. I definitely want to go to San Jose because I love California, and if I ever do, then I am for sure going to go to the Sarah Winchester Mystery House. Now my mom actually has been here and she said it was really eerie and strange. She got weird vibes there. But from what I've seen on the internet and from some of the things that I've researched about the house, everyone says that all of the ghosts are friendly. So, I don't know. I really want to go there someday, and if you have been there, please do let me know in the comments below because I'm so curious. I mean, my mom didn't really have much more to say about it other than that she got weird and bad vibes there, but who really knows? I know that a lot of people have had good experiences there and think that it's a unique and interesting place. It's a piece of history. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up this week's Spooky Sunday. Have you heard of the Sarah Winchester Mystery House? Honestly, I think a lot of people have, and now that I'm thinking about it, one of my best friends in high school went there. Yeah, she definitely did. So I think this is just a sign that I need to go there because 2 people that I know went there. But please do let me know down in the comments if you've been there before or if you are interested in going to this location, because I think that it's a pretty cool place, okay? But I do hope that you consider subscribing if you have not already. I am doing Spooky Sunday every single Sunday here on this channel, and during the rest of the week I have all sorts of makeup goodness happening here for you. So if you're not already subscribed and you would like to be, I would love to see you hit that button down below. I do also hope that you consider giving this video a big old thumbs up and hitting that notification bell down below as well. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic, wonderful, and slightly spooky day wherever you are, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye!